Hey everybody, it's Mo. This is our 37th episode out of 100. These micro lessons, power packed, that are going to give you everything you need to succeed to grow your book of business, your relationships, and your career. This is our 8th set, our second video in the 8. In this 8th set of 5, we're talking about positioning. How do you communicate your value in a way that's memorable and it clearly benefits the client and you're going to be chosen more often? The last episode, I talked about sort of the power of positioning, how you want to position yourself uniquely. We talked about some really interesting concepts of how you transition from your accolades to how they'll benefit the client, and a very specific phrasing you can do to use to do that. In this episode, all I want to do is impress upon you the power of 3. So Dr. Suzanne Shu has written an incredible paper on this. And here's the title of it. Love this title. It's called When 3 Charms, But 4 Alarms. When 3 Charms, But 4 Alarms. What Dr. Shu and her team did is they tested accolades, or here's what you'll get if you buy our product. And they tested if somebody said they're basically, or a product said they're good at 1 thing, 2 things, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and tested all the way to 10. I think that's interesting. And what they found is there was a curve, a heightened believability at 3. And sort of looks like a normal curve with a longer tail out to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the height was at 3. Now, I personally thought this was really interesting. If you say there are 3 things that you're good at, or 3 things you're going to bring to bear for this work that you're doing for a client, or 3 ways you're going to benefit them, however we want to phrase it, I would have thought if we said there's 1 thing, or maybe 2, that would be more powerful. I thought fewer would be better because of the believability of, fewer, being good at 1 thing might be more believable, say, than being good at 3 things. I was wrong. What the research shows is there's a height, a pinnacle at 3. Now that I know that, looking back and paraphrasing a little bit of what Dr. Shu and her team found, is 3 creates a trend. Flip a coin once, you don't have a trend. Twice, maybe you get 2 tails, but you're not sure what's going to be next. 2 heads, 1 of each. You're unclear. The 3rd time you see something, there's something magic about 3. The 3rd time you've got a trend. And I think that's sort of the underpinnings of this. So all I want to impress upon you in this video is, for gosh sakes, here's your trap to avoid. Do not have some stock, these are the 10 reasons you should hire us slide at the end of some PowerPoint presentation. It's too many. It just looks like a laundry list of things. Like you're going to go to the supermarket and go shopping or something, or you're on David Letterman at the end. Like, top 10 lists are not for positioning. 3 reasons are for positioning. The other thing I do want to say this, and this applies back to our prior episode too. Please go back and watch that. But write these so that they're a benefit to the client specifically for this work that you're going to do. If you have any key takeaway from this video, it's get it down to 3 and write it with that so we can framework, so that or something like it, so it's really clear. If you hire us, we're going to give you these 3 things. And that, I know we're a bit conceptual now. In 2 videos from now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this with your team. But all you need to know now is get it to 3. Don't have 0 and not talk about this. Don't have a top 10 list. You're not David Letterman. You're not trying to be funny. Too many is too confusing. Too few can be too confusing. You want to have 3 clear benefits the client's going to get if they hire you for this exact work. Get it down to specifically applying to this exact work. That's your key takeaway. So shorter video today. What I'm going to link down to in the show notes is the actual Dr. Shu research. This is one of those links that's not behind a paywall. So you're going to be able to actually read the full study if you click on that link. Super interesting stuff. Some peer-reviewed research is really hard to digest. Yeah, you got to skip over some statistical analyses and things like that if you're not into it. But this one's actually quite readable. And this concept is so powerful. It's a high recommend to dig into Dr. Shu's research. All right, that's it for today. As with all these videos, I hope that this one helps you help your clients succeed.